What's going on, everybody? I'm Russ, the host of You Want It, You Got It. Today we have Perry Jones in the room. How's it going, Perry?
Pretty good. How about you?
Good, man. How's life treating you?
It's been all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll start off. You know, like I said, we're just gonna shoot the shit and stuff. But where are you from originally?
Greenville, Tennessee.
And that East Tennessee?
Yeah. Well, like right between Johnson City and Knoxville is where I say, because nobody knows where we're from. So I'm just like, you know Knoxville, you know Johnson City.
Yeah.
Right between those two.
Yeah. Cool. So how was it like growing up there?
It was all right. Very backwoods. I actually just Memorial Day weekend, I went and saw my mom, and it's like they own 66 acres of mountains. So,
wow.
And it's just all my relatives live around there. So it was not the best social environment because no kids live around there. So when I went to school, I was happy. My mom's like, I'm just kind of crazy that you're happy to go to school. And I'm like, well, there's no kids here. It's not like after school we can go play basketball or something with, people around the neighborhood. So school was my social networking time.
How far from you were you for school from your home?
It really wasn't that far.
You guys just lived down in the boonies.
Yeah, like way back there in the holler.
In the holler. Huh?
Yeah, I was like, if you just drove straight from my mom's house to the school, it's like 10 minutes. But the bus route with all them back roads, I was on the bus for an hour and a half.
Yeah, I just learned what the word holler meant. Like, look, I lived here for 32 years, and I just learned, like, within the last 5 years what holler meant.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, so that's kind of crazy. Yeah, I had a bus route when I was a kid. It took me almost 2 hours to get to school. When I lived in Germany, because we lived so far off in the economy.
Yeah.
There's only like 7 kids in the whole area, so this little fucking short bus, yes, it was a short bus, would come pick us up, and then we drive from fucking our house all the way to the bigger base where the school was at, and it sucked. And then during snow time, it took just a little bit longer, but
I mean, it's probably the same thing around here. Even though it's really close, there's just so many stops and so many kids. It's like, back when my kids were on the bus, even though it was literally 2 minutes from my house, they would be on there for 45 minutes just because there were so many stops and kids. And like, here is kind of weird because you guys have a elementary, middle, and high school.
Yeah.
Back home, it's kindergarten through 8th and then 9th through 12th.
Okay.
So there was no middle school. I mean, there is now, but when I was growing up, it was just like, this is your home for the next 8 years, so...
Fucking prison.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've noticed around here, if you look around, it's like, you'll see 3 houses, and then you'll see a bus stop, and then you'll see 4 more houses, you'll see another bus stop. I'm like, what, these kids all can't just go to the fucking corner and wait together and have fun? I used to have like 100, 200 people at a bus stop. We have 4 different buses come up, everybody load up, and then we go, but...
Yeah.
So...
And it's wild, like, from here, like, even your neighbor across the road can go to a different school.
Oh, for sure.
Like, that's weird. They're like, yeah, that's how it's zoned off. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, because there's kids that go to Kenwood that live what used to be when I was going to school would be Clarksville High kids that are zoned, because like Clarksville High kids, I think people from Lincoln Homes would go to Clarksville High. Now people from Lincoln Home goes to Kenwood or whatever else is over there. There's so many fucking schools here.
Yeah.
I moved here. There was four high schools, and now I think there's like 9 high schools. So.
Shit, there's 2 just on the post, I believe. Either 1 or 2 on Fort Campbell.
There's 2 up there now?
1 or 2, I can't remember. But I know they just built another big one, and it's like, man.
Is that a school? Is that one right there when you go on the main gate on the right-hand side? Is that a school? Or are those new barracks?
Like Gate 4?
Uh-huh.
I think that's, I think that might be, yeah, I don't think that one's a school, but they build a new one, just like if you go between 1 and 2, there's a huge ass one right there.
So there's that many people on Fort Campbell now.
That's crazy.
That's insane. Yeah.
People from this town are probably like, get the hell out of here.
So did you graduate high school there?
I walked across the stage there.
Yeah, I got you.
Opened it up, and it was a piece of printer paper with my name spelled out in pen. I was like, you're a bitch. And the principal was a preacher, so she hated me anyways. And then she didn't tell me about summer school, and I'm like, how did I fail? She goes, well, you made a 65 in English. And back in my school, 65 is failing, so...
Really?
Yeah.
65 always for me was like a D.
Yeah, so when I went to start going to in National State, 60 to 70 is a D.
Yeah, now I think it's even changed again,
Yeah.
I think, because it was like, what, 100 to 90 was an A, 89 to 80 was a
yeah. But not when I went to school, and I was like, man, 5 points, really? You're not gonna get my diploma for 5 points. So I went and got my GED.
Did you graduated in 2000s and around that era?
Yeah, 2005.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Did not know that.
Yeah.
I'm just an old guy.
Supposed to graduate in 2004, but I got held back.
I was supposed to graduate in 93 and I got held back in the best grade ever.
Oh yeah.
Kindergarten.
You did not sleep enough.
No, we moved a few different times. I went to like 2 or 3 different kindergartens.
Yeah. I'd say it's harder for military families on the kids because it's like, oh, you got friends now. We're about to move.
Yeah.
And then
you were in the military, right?
I did 8 years.
Yeah, and it's even for adults too because you meet somebody and you're like, oh, next week they get fucking their move. You know, it's just like I've met so many different people, but you don't know who to keep close because like they might move tomorrow. You know.
Yeah. It's like, are you a military family? We can't be friends.
No.
Too close.
Yeah, I do know some people still from when I was in actually elementary school that I still associate with today.
Yeah.
And a lot of them have actually done stuff for like my bands that I had been in. Like one of my homies I've known since 6th grade, he screen printed all taken under stuff.
Nice.
And he lives in Atlanta and he runs a screening business. He's in some doom bands. He's in some stoner rock bands. He's doing it up down there. He has a clothing company called Southern as Fuck. They're pretty big for a while and then he just stopped doing it. Now he just does screen printing all the time. But yeah.
Oh yeah.
It sucks though being in the military, being an Army brat. Did you join the military right after you walked across the stage, or did you wait a little while?
I joined in 2006, so about a year. Yeah, I'd say it was a little bit over a year because I joined in June 2006.
Did you join just to get away?
There's no jobs there.
Yeah,
unless you knew somebody or slept with somebody or knew somebody that slept with somebody. I guess I don't know. I just never had that. Like the jobs they're paying, they were like $13-12 an hour, which I was like, well, if I'm trying to live a life, I can't do that off of that.
Yeah.
And then, I just joined the military in 2006. Got back from basic and AIT and left in 2007. So
now, in growing up and stuff, were you always into metal at that time?
No, it was actually pretty forbidden in my house.
Really?
Yeah, big Christian home.
Yeah.
But they like Johnny Cash. I was like, Cocaine Blues is not a gospel song.
No.
So. Yeah, it was pretty strict. I think maybe my 4th or 5th grade year, I had a friend that played drums, and he got me into, I think, Bush, 16 Stone, and Nirvana, the Muddy Banks of Wishka. Or
the live album, yeah.
Those are the 2 albums. He's like, listen to these. And I was like, okay. So, it stayed around that grunge alternative stuff until I got a little bit older. And then in high school, it was just like the doors opened up way more. And I was like, oh, so much.
So you were basically, and you listened to him probably just to be like a rebel with your parents. You're like, fuck this, I'm listening to what I want.
Yeah.
Did you have to hide it from him?
Not so much. I did buy this one. What was his name? Ed Lover.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not metal.
Okay.
But I had that tape.
Yeah.
And I played it in the car because I was like, well, I just bought this tape, stuck it in the car. My dad heard it and he goes, what is this? Is that like back up off me or something like that? One of those songs? I was like, man, I don't know. I was like, I like it, Dad. And nah, yeah.
It could have been NWA.
Yeah.
That would have been, I think, a better, No, I had a friend, his parents would find his cassettes and throw them away. And he had he had Poison, and it had like the album cover open up and say, oh, I had the tongue on it. And his mom was like, that's a devil, that's a demon. And like would crush all his tapes, like with the shit you would see like on TV. Right. His parents would do that to all his music. So he would have to physically buy these copies over and over again. And finally he was just like, I'm going to hide these somewhere. So he would cut a hole in his box spring under his bed and would keep them up in there to listen to them. I'm like, you got to do what you got to do, I guess. You know? Luckily that guy, and this was when he was in high school. Like he was a sophomore in high school and his parents were still doing this.
So the only thing my mom did one time is I bought a snake.
Okay.
I returned it the next day. She's like looking at that's like looking at the devil's eyes. I was like, all right. That's what you say. And so I took that back, and I did learn to burn the CDs.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I just keep the copies, and if they threw away the copies, it's like, okay, I still got the original.
That's a pretty good idea. That's a pretty good idea.
Got the original, so that, yeah. I mean, they were, I wouldn't say strict, but like, yeah, it was.
Yeah, I mean, I hear a lot of people in the South. Like I was talking to Mark, you know, and he said just even people in the South, you know, in like the 80s and late 80s, early 90s, that was like, because it's the Bible Belt, you know.
Yeah.
People are like, no, that's bad, you know. But like you said, Johnny Cash.
Yeah. Yeah. I was really excited, like, when I got here, and this was kind of before I was in the metal scene. Like, I've heard of bands and stuff. I was like, that's awesome. Like, being in the Bible Belt, you're like, metal bands, they're thriving. Like, because I was dumb. When I joined the military, it was just like, I didn't know anything about music, or, you know, I've seen quite a few local bands back where I'm from, and it was awesome. Then I was just like, wait a second, we can do this. And then it was like, you're going to get a lot of shit. Yeah. But you can do it, you know?
Yeah. I remember when I saw one of my first local things, and I was just like, wow, people are doing this that are on, like this is cool. And they had people watching them, and like, so they, you know, I wasn't really into starting a band myself at that time, but I was like, man, this would be a cool thing to do, you know? And then when I turned 29, I decided to join a band. Late start, but... You know, were you ever in bands and like want to be or tried to be in bands in high school at all?
No. So we had barely had a music class that was like a 1970s piano that was out of tune.
Out of tune.
That's the only thing we had. We didn't have a band, nothing.
Wow.
Yeah, my graduating class is like 75 people. So, but now they do have band and all this stuff. I'm like, shit, it'd been nice to learn that, because when I went to record back when I was in guerrilla warfare, the drums, Edison's like, can you play to a click? I was like, what's a click? He goes, oh shit, we're gonna have a long day. I'm like, well, I didn't know what that was, and now then, you know, my kids are in music class, and it's like,
that's cool.
That's cool. Yeah, they teach, or in band, I should say, and that's the thing they teach. I'm like,
I still can't play with the click. It throws me off. The way I look at it is, if the drummer's good and caught this time, and I got this, you know.
Yeah. That's what's for us. You know, the drummer is the first thing to do it.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, okay, if he does it to a click, then you just follow him. Then it's kind of like you're doing it to a click. But
yeah, technically you would. Yeah, you're right. It's about the same. But if he fucks up and you guys keep going and you guys just play along through, then fuck it, it sticks. That happened once. I think on the last Take Under record, there was just a small part, like I think one less hit, and it threw it off, but nobody caught it. Yeah. We all were like, because you're hearing it, you know, and it's like, yeah, I've never, the first time I ever recorded, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I was like, do what? Scratch tracks? What the fuck's that? So I lay down scratch tracks, and they're like, oh, you're good. And I'm like, oh, okay.
That's it?
Fuck all right. Yeah. So my studio time was easy. I was like, so when you got out of the, when you came here to camp, did you come to Campbell first, or were you somewhere else?
I went to Fort Stewart first in Georgia. Yeah. I was there for 3 months, then got deployed to Iraq. So, yeah. And then I came back 15 months in Iraq, and then got stationed in California.
Where at?
Fort Irwin.
Fort Irwin. Ooh.
Yeah.
I used to go there go see my dad in the desert.
And that's where I discovered deathcore.
Really?
Yeah. This guy was like, have you heard of Born of Osiris? I was like, no. And he let me listen to it. I was like, oh, this is amazing. So, like, before that, I was really big into, like, Children of Bodom, Lamb of God. I actually went and saw that Unholy Alliance tour in Georgia. And that was the main things I listened to. Still listen to those, but it was just like, this is an introduction to something else.
Yeah.
So when I found that stuff, I was like, man, you can play these fast parts and then slow it down, and it makes you want to punch something. I was like, that's what I like. So yeah. Then from there, I came here. When I was there, I got deployed to Afghanistan for 12 months.
Gotcha.
Came back, and then I requested to get to Fort Campbell. Came here. Was here for like a year and something, even asked to deploy, and they're like, we're only taking so many people. And I was like, oh, what? Okay. So never deployed from here, which is kind of crazy.
That deployment money's pretty nice, yeah? Or no?
Yeah. Tax free.
Yeah, I'll fucking deploy.
But I would much rather deploy as a civilian, because
it's even more money, right?
Yeah, this guy I talked to, because I was a welder in the military, and I talked to their welders over there. And I was like, what do you guys make? He goes, $144,000 a year. First 100,000 is tax free. I was like, gosh, I need to get.
But and that's just like, when you're on post, on base work, and you say you work in the airfield. What you as a army worker and compared to the contractors, you're doing the same jobs, but they're making so much more money than you, and that's why a lot of people get out, right, and they go become contractors.
Yeah, I try to do that because there's this place, on post that has a welding shop, and it's like your whole section is just like every welder you can think of, and each welder has their own section that's got everything.
Wow!
But the guy told me, he's like, when I was getting out, he's like, man, I'm not gonna lie to you. The only way you're going to get a job here is if somebody dies. He's like, they're here for the long haul because they're like 30 plus an hour job. I mean, that was back in 2014, so 10 years ago, so it's probably more than that.
Yeah. What are you doing now?
I work at a lumber yard.
Okay.
Yeah. Hate it. But...
You were in Clarksville?
Yeah, over there off Dover Road. I don't know why I'm pointing unless people can see where I'm pointing.
Or by Converges.
Yeah.
What the hell is that place
Atlanta
called?
Hardwood.
What was it before?
Huh?
Averett's?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where Mark and Jason.
Yeah.
Yeah, now Joe works there.
Really?
Yeah. So
that's not too far from his house.
Nope. I used to live over there, and it was like 2 minutes.
Oh.
Now I live over Exit.
Oh man. Yeah, and then traffic sucks.
Oh yeah, there's 3 school zones between my house and work.
Summer's the best time.
Yeah.
Hey, I use Uber and Lyft in the morning. I'm happy that there ain't no school traffic.
Oh yeah.
Gets me to work in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was coming down today and like no stop traffic. I was like, oh yeah, school's out.
Yep.
Yeah, so good time.
So when you moved here to Campbell, and is this when you decided, what made you want to join the band, or how did you join the band here?
And
what was it, Guerrilla Warfare?
Yeah, Guerrilla Warfare was the first one I joined, and pretty sure it was through Facebook. Maybe Musicians of Clarksville, maybe, and I think Brett was looking for a drummer, and I was like, man, I ain't played drums in forever. So, going back to the childhood thing,
yeah,
everybody in my family played something. There's gospel music, but nobody played drums. So it was my sister played bass, my dad played guitar, my mom sang, and my other sister was just there. So, so I was like, well, let me pick up the drums, and I played a little bit here and there. Me and a couple guys got together in Iraq because they had the MWR that had the whole music set up, and we played stuff there. We wasn't like a band; we was just jamming. So I was like, well, it's been since that was in 2014 when I joined Guerrilla Warfare, probably 2009. It's the last time I played drums. Wow. So I was like, and I was like self-taught. I just listened to AC/DC and then just try to put double bass to it, and then that's how I kind of got into metal, and I still can't play that shit. So.
Yeah. I mean, you got an album with your drums on it.
Yeah, an album and a half, I guess, because that second album, I'm on the last 5 songs.
I know the Violent State. I always get the violent part. Like I know the violent part, but Violent State that just finally got put up online. I saw that.
Yeah, I think he either had Brett had that one redone or the next one redone. Remastered.
Is that the one that it's like half you and half us?
Austin. Yeah.
We switched. Yeah,
I think it was the first 2 was when you and Austin was in.
Yeah. It was only 2 songs, and the rest were whatever you guys never released as a band.
Yeah.
It was good stuff. So that's kind of cool. Like I hear that often. Like there's a lot of families that have a lot of members that play different things. It's like you guys were like the Jacksons.
Yeah. We never played anywhere. They played at church, and then they asked me to play at church, and this was when I was a teen, so I was like, I'm not really wanting to go to church in the first place, but whatever. I mean, it was fun playing it, and then the preacher's wife, she was fill in the blank there.
Yeah.
Because we would be playing, and I'd be following her son, which is the bass player. I'm like, okay, that's the tempo. And then she'd turn around, you're playing too fast. And I'm like, all right, you're playing too slow. I'm like, so I just dropped the drumsticks and walked out.
Yeah, that was your last day.
Yeah, I never went back. And her son came up to me and goes, I don't know what you was doing wrong. I didn't hear anything. I was like, well, just mom's is a yeah, so, whatever.
Yeah. So, I mean, were you wanting to play drums, or you just were looking, like, because at that point were you playing guitar yet?
I didn't start playing guitar until, like, playing until 2018.
Wow, really?
Yeah, so I would learn tabs and play songs, but I never, like, learned stuff. So
so when you joined we'll get to ALB in a second, but when you we'll go back to guerrilla warfare.
right.
So you replied to an ad for a drummer with GW.
Yep.
And how'd that go?
I listened to the stuff online, or actually Brett gave me a couple of the older CDs that had police corruption, those songs on them.
Yeah.
And I listened to them, I learned them, and then I asked him, I was like, "Do you care if I had some stuff in here?" He goes, "As long as the the main structure of the songs and it doesn't mess everybody else up." He's like, "Go ahead." So it's kind of where it went, and then I played. And he's like, "Yeah, you're a little rusty." And I told him, I was like, "It's been years since I played, so getting back at it and trying to do it efficiently was maybe take some time." I was like, "I don't know if you guys want to put in wait for me, or just if you guys got to find another drum, you got to find another drummer."
Yeah, for sure.
But we played together several times, and then I believe actually at that time it was me and Brian brought in at the same time.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think maybe the guitar player at the time left, and
so that's crazy because I didn't know that part, because I remember getting lunch with Brett one day, and he was like, "Yeah, I got this guy," and he showed me. I was like, "That guy's gonna play guitar for you?" Because it's Brian, he had the big beard, the cowboy hat, whatever, the
fedora, yeah.
And I was like, but I was like, okay, I didn't know that part about you. So it was you, Brian, who was on bass?
Steve.
So Steve was on bass at that point.
Yeah.
And then who was on? Was there another guitar player at that point?
Corey was. He was deployed, so it's
gotcha.
Or he was in Korea.
So, but he never. Did he ever come back into the band?
I think he came back on the Violent State album.
And you were with that was okay.
Yeah, we did I want to say it was almost a year before he came back.
Gotcha.
So we just played as a 4-piece. But yeah, me, Brett, and Brian met at Hastings, and just
rest in peace, Hastings.
Yeah, I love that place. But yeah, we just hung out for a little bit and talked about what do we want to do, and then it's kind of hard to find people that click, and in my opinion, me and Brian click pretty good, because that's what you got to have to click.
Yeah.
And then the vocals is on top of that, so as long as your instrument wise you guys are going to click, should be solid, and that's that's what we were. And like I said, it was just us four for a while, and then Corey came back, and then I think that was the last lineup for me.
Yeah, I think that was a lot. I think, because who took over? I can't remember who played drums anyway.
Austin played after me.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, so that's interesting, because I didn't realize Austin was in the band. I mean, that long before you said 2018 you quit.
Yep.
GW. Yeah, so that's when I came in. I waited for you to leave, and then me and Blake came in.
I don't want to be with the band with that guy. I want to wait till he leaves.
That's interesting. Yeah, I didn't know that, because I was just going to fill in.
Yeah.
For Steve.
Yep.
Until I found somebody, and I never left.
Oh yeah, I remember Brett telling me that, because a couple of shows. It's like, "Oh, Russ is with you guys." And he goes, "Well, he's filling in until we maybe find a permanent." And then, several shows later, I was like.
And then I became the singer.
Yeah,
I became one of the vocalists with Brett,
which is awesome for me, because we played shows together when you were Taking Under, and I was like, man, this is I love that band.
I hear that often.
Still love all you guys. So it was cool seeing that, and then just the way you and Brett and then the brothers were, it's just like,
Yeah, when I had even more energy, imagine that. Like me and Matt used to share vocals.
Yeah.
And he's a big dude, and they're all big guys. Well, I used to fucking jump all over Matt while I'm singing and shit, and it was like I was like a fucking but it was fun. So you while you're in GW, were you in ALB at the same time?
No, it was.
So at this point, when you're in GW, you're just learning some riffs on a guitar. And then you leave GW for what reason? So you join. So you leave GW, and what brings you to ALB?
So when a little thing happened in the basement of Brian's house, and it was I left the band. I asked Joe. I was like, "Hey, can you come pick me up in my drums from Brian's house?" And he's like, Yeah, sure. And it was like piss pouring rain, and I walked up there and made him and backed him. Like as I was in the van with him and him backing the trailer down, he goes, we could use another guitar player in ALB. I'm like, I have zero things that I have a guitar. I had a Crate 212. I actually still have that, and I was like, this thing sounds like ass. So, I'll try it. But like, that was the original conversation there.
So you talked. So Joe was in ALB at the time, right?
Okay. It was Joe, Kalen, Eric, and Brandon. Yeah.
Now that band I have seen have so many reincarnations over the fucking so many years of that band.
Yeah.
And that's even before Kalen was in the band.
Yeah. Everybody's like, "Who's the original member?" I was like, "Nobody," but Kalen's the longest. Yeah. As of this lineup, so
I think at one point, no, I don't know if it was ALB or of Serpents. I could be. It's one of those two, and I could be wrong on both. But Blake's ex-wife used to do vocals for one of those bands with
Travis. Yeah. She did. I don't think. Well, okay. So when they did it live, she did like one.
She
song.
did one song. Yeah.
Yeah, that was of Serpents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm talking about back.
Oh, back then.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
When Trav started the band with. I don't know. Like I said, that band had so many lineups before.
Oh yeah, John. Is it John?
Yep.
The guy that passed away. Yeah. He was a really cool dude.
Yeah.
So
real cool dude, man.
Yeah.
It was So you joined. So you talked to Perry about he mentions you. Hey, we need another guitar player, and you're like, I don't know. So did you? How long did it make you think of you make up your mind before you did it?
Oh, I said I told Joe to let me sit down with the tracks for a little bit, and I tried to learn them. He'd show me some stuff. I think "Stuff for Me Now" was the first song I learned because that was my favorite song of theirs.
Gotcha,
So I was like, let me try to learn that. So kind of before that, like Guerrilla Warfare, ALB had a show in Knoxville together.
Okay.
It was around my birthday.
Was this a show outside on that?
No, this was at an old pizza place, which was like.
Wait, where was this? This was in. You said it was outside of Knoxville, right?
Yeah, just outside of Knoxville.
Taken Under was supposed to play a show there before we split up.
Some pizza place, right? Yeah. Yeah, it was a pretty cool place. They gave us free pizza, didn't get paid, but
you got
whatever.
Free pizza, man.
Yeah, that's yeah. I've learned with this band as well to just, I guess, kind of accept what you get, but like at some point you gotta. Yeah. Which, anyways, back to that. We were supposed to play a show together, and then the weekend before that's when all the stuff went down with Guerrilla Warfare, and I was like, man, my dad was coming out that show, and now I have no reason to go because I'm not in this band. And I'm not in ALB at the time, so I was like, well, crap. So I asked Joe and then the guys, I was like, you guys care if I play like the last song with you in Knoxville just so my dad can, maybe the only time he could see me play. Yeah. And so I learned Stuff for Me Now within that, I think, a couple weeks there. I said a week, but I'm not sure exactly on the timeline. It was maybe a couple weeks. So I learned that song roughly. Yeah. I did not learn it exactly how Joe played it. So I was like, all right, I was just appreciative because, like I said, I didn't know if my dad would actually get to come to another show or if I was going to even be in another band at that point. So they let me play that show with them, and like I said, that last song. And then, so after that, I asked my dad, I was like, what do you think? He goes, I don't like it, but you look like you're having fun. That's all that matters. I was like, all right. I'm not crying, you're crying, Dad. But, yeah, so after that, I learned more of the songs, and then here we are.
That's insane, man. That's like, now look at you, that's crazy. Like, from not playing guitar at all, and now would you say you're the rhythm guitar player in ALB, or are you like?
No, we don't have a lead or rhythm.
Just all
we kind of swap off.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
That's kind of like what we want to do. Because even when I joined ALB with Joe, obviously he's way better than I am, and he's just like, I like what you do because you don't play the same thing I do, which is what every other guitar player that he's had before, I guess, these do to play the same thing. Yeah. And I was like, well, why not play a fifth or, whatever it is, just to make it different. And, what up? Sorry, my son came in there. So, I added a little bit of stuff here, and it didn't really change the song. It just added a little bit of stuff to it. And then the first song that I wrote with them was Mother of Harlots. Dead Boy was already done.
Okay.
Human Error was already done. So Mother of Harlots is me and Joe's first song.
Is that still in the set?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Some people ask for it, and then
Yeah.
it's like, you know what? Or if they ask for an encore, you know, that's happened a couple of times. That's kind of when we've set back as, you know.
Now, when you guys practice, do you guys try to run through like a couple older songs just to keep them fresh in case somebody wants them, or?
We start with one or two.
Yeah.
Just to warm up, and then we start writing because we've been writing, you know, for a while now. But yeah, we'll play some of the older songs. Like, I think Michigan, we played Dead Boy, and we played Mother Harlots too, because we had these 3 songs that we're going to play as an encore, or 2 songs, and then we played those, and this guy was like, "Do you want them to play an encore?" I was like, "Motherfucker, we just played the encore." So we busted out Mother Harlots there, and you know, it was I don't want to say rough, but it was a little bit different for me to learn that, because those intro parts, Joe and I had to learn that picking stuff, and I was like, I got fat fingers. I don't know if I can do this. So we play it live, and I'll mess it up every once in a while, but I'm like, it's live. Who cares?
One thing I do know, I mean, I'll get back to your guitar show, but one thing I know about you is you're a hustler. You work your ass off. I was talking to Slaughter about this. It's like, one thing I know about you is like, you will go out there, you know, you'll get some, you know, people to sponsor you, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, and you're good at that.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I don't, you know, it's just, at that lineup, that initial, well, you know, after we got the iteration we have now, maybe like, you know, a drummer before, we were all dads. And it's like,
yeah,
we can't fund this shit and support our family and all this stuff. So I was like, you know what? If we could get support from local people, no corporation or anything like that. I just want local businesses. If we can get them, you know, do like a mutual support thing, you know, either for an album or for a year, whichever one they want to do. And, you know, that'll help, you know, maybe us grow. Like, okay, people come in the shop, never heard of us, and they see our poster or whatever it is. And then also we're tagging them online, having their business cards at our merch table, and people may have not heard these places, and it's like, bam. And like, Valhalla's Gate, she was the first person to do the sponsors. Okay. I was like, do you want to hear the music? She goes, no, I trust you. And I was like, so, you know, she was one of the first ones we got, and then Emerald City CBD, she did it one time.
Is that place around anymore?
Yeah, it's over off Madison Street, but it's tucked back behind like where Clarksville Guns and Archery's at.
Okay, yeah.
So yeah, it's a real little round building and stuff. I've been in there once, and it's pretty neat. But like, you know, they haven't picked up a sponsor again. But I'm like, she's really busy, and I think she's doing real estate again. So
yeah, still it's cool that she did it. You know, it's cool. So ALB's been around now with you and the band going on what, 7 years now?
6 years.
6 years?
Actually.
Yeah, it's 2024, right?
What's today's date? Like 26th or 27th or 28th, yeah.
Is it close?
Yeah. On my birthday is when I joined. And my birthday was last Monday, so.
Oh, okay.
Well, yeah, the 20th, so. Yeah, it's been 6 years, and then, you know, we've had lineup changes since then, but it keeps getting better.
I mean, you guys stay busy. You guys stay really active.
Yeah, and then I try to do is, like I said, get around to these local shops and ask them. And even if not, like some places don't even sponsor us, so I was like, I'll still take some cards, and put them on there, because like, you know, if I fuck with them, then, you know, they like metal. I'm just like, well, let's just mutually support each other.
Yeah,
and,
for sure.
Velvet Ghost has been a good one. Maddie and Dustin are great people. You know, they let us sell our coffin stuff in there too. Let me and my wife do, and then Hell or High Water Tattoo. You know,
where's that located?
Hopkinsville.
Hopkinsville.
Well, yeah, it's like right there, right past like the state line.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So, you know, I asked them first if they want all those people that done it, and if they want to re-up, for another CD or a year or whatever, and if they don't, I'll just go ask somebody else, and then, there's people that's like, oh, we would have done it. I'm like, well, maybe next time, because I wanted to give everybody, a chance to.
Yeah, I mean, and there's so much out there too, and people are always willing to, and that's one thing about now. Everyone's willing to help each other out too, especially with like you said, sponsorships and shit. So how's the life of ALB been lately? What's new on the table?
Well, we're writing. We released the cover, the Break Your Neck cover, back in January.
Yeah, when I first saw that posted up before it was out, I was just like, is this what I think it is?
Or February. I messed up. It was on Valentine's Day.
Yep.
February 14th. So we would have had it out sooner, but there's been some issues with the guy that recorded this. So
I was about to ask you where you recorded that at.
The cover?
Yeah.
Oh, with Eric from Paranism.
It's from here, isn't it?
Yeah. See, Seventh Circle.
See, yeah, that's the second time I've heard this name, and I don't know this name.
You remember Jamie Williams? Mm-hmm. And Stewart? Do you know Stewart?
No.
Okay. Well, Jamie was in his band. I mean, of course, he was part of ALB too.
The only band the only person I knew of that recorded besides Edison was the Devices guy.
Yeah, that was the guy we recorded everything else with.
Okay, and I don't know his name. I just call him the Devices guy.
I want to leave his name off of this.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, because we kind of lost all respect for him for when he tried to.
All right. Well, we'll go on with that.
Yeah. So now we're in search.
You're good. There's a lot of places. It's so crazy how many people record nowadays, though, too. But it's also about who you want to find, record your style, and how you want to sound, too.
Yeah, because we're thinking about recording stems with Eric, mm-hmm. and then having Chris from Body Snatcher mix and masters. We was originally going to go to Zach Householder from Whitechapel in Knoxville, but it's a little bit out of our price range, so it's probably worth it. But I'm like, man, this is hard.
I sold a shirt to the singer of Body Snatcher. Like one day I was like on my Depop site, and it's like, hey man, I want this shirt. You take this much for it? I was like, yeah. And I looked at his last name. It was like whatever. I can't remember. I don't know his first name. What's the singer's name?
Kyle Medina.
Yeah, it said like Kyle Snatcher or something. And I looked it up. I went to his profile on Depop, and I was like, oh shit, okay. So,
I'm gonna charge you double.
Yeah, right. Well, it's funny because like also too, I got hit up by the singer of My Child, My Bride, and I was like, yeah, what you need? He goes, oh, I got you got the shirt I want, and I was like, all right. And then he tried to like. Well, actually, it's for my friend, and he works for this merch shop. And I see you want terror stuff, so here I'm going to send you his link, and then you all talk. But none of the terror stuff was anything I wanted, so I just set up for the cash.
Dang.
But I mean, I didn't mind the terror. It was like the shirt colors were like pastel colors, which is not a problem. But it was like, the graphics isn't anything cool,
Right?
Yeah.
But, I love terror.
Yeah, they're a great band.
They'll
be here next week, the 4th.
Got to open up for them.
I did too.
Yeah, them and Dying Fetus was like it was like a weird lineup. It was Dying Fetus.
It was that tour. It was a Terror. Terror was the only hardcore band on the bill.
Yeah, it was Dying Fetus, Terror, Brand of Sacrifice, and Vitriol. I was like, that's an odd lineup, but it works.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, and we got asked a week before that to open up because they're like, well, they don't have any openers. I was like, oh, okay, we tried. We'll probably show up anyways, but. A week before the show, Allison hit us up, and she's like, you guys want to open? I was like, shit, how many tickets we got to sell? Because at this time, you're a week away. Mostly everybody has their tickets.
Yeah, for sure.
And she's like, well, if you can sell 20 at $25 each. I was like, a week before? Let's try it. So I think we end up selling 10, and she's like, don't even worry about it.
Yeah.
So she no longer books, but I mean, not because of that.
No, for sure.
No. But yeah, she was great to work with. We opened up for Body Snatcher.
That's cool.
Through her, Unearth, which is what I wanted. I was like, man, Unearth is the.
Was Ken still in the band at the time?
Oh yeah.
Wish he still was in the band.
Yeah.
Now he's with Tim and As I Lay Dying.
Yeah.
Which the track that they just released was. I'll fuck with it because I like Ken, man.
Yeah.
I got to see Unearth a few different times. Never got to open up for them. I've seen them several fucking times, man. They're such a great fucking band, dude. God, they're so good live.
And it's crazy because
where was that show you opened up at?
The End.
The End.
Yeah. I don't want to say this and people
The
get
End?
pissy, but like
Unearth at the End.
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
You think it'd be the Exit End, but no.
No, but that's I love going to shows there. It's just so fucking intimate and so fucking it's you're just stuck like sardines in this fucking room.
Yeah,
dude.
and they were chilling there too. Like after they played them, and they got their shit together. And Buzz, I got to talk to Buzz.
Oh, he's cool, man.
So, yeah, that's
What were you about to say?
the reason why we got the Body Snatcher show. Well, the Unearthed show is like we're typically the last band that gets asked to do stuff like that. So I'm like,
fuck it, man.
I was like, I don't understand this. I mean, I'm not boasting my band, but I'm like, why? Like, because they asked us to sell 20 tickets for Body Snatcher. We sold 30. I'm like, we like you said, hustle. So it's, I don't understand it, but it is what it is.
Hey, being asked the last, at least you got asked though.
Yeah.
And I don't even know. I know. There's only a small handful of even local Nashville bands these days. I don't even know much of any. I used to know about all the fucking bands. Now I don't know about nobody.
Yeah.
But I still know there's still a scene down there. But I just don't know for what.
Yeah, working on this one up here is he got me excited.
Who did?
Working on not me personally working on this, but like seeing the bands.
Oh yeah. And we got we got hit hard, man. We took the warehouse for granted. We took it for granted. We never thought it would leave us.
No.
And it's been 2 years now.
What is it now? I ain't even drove by there.
It's still fucking there. Well, okay, maybe not. I don't know. I don't drive it. I don't go down there.
Yeah.
But the last time I went by there, it was still there, and that was this year.
I think they was trying to sell it for like condos or some shit like that. Right?
What they should do is just take that fucking warehouse building, if they're going to do anything, and keep that building and make apartments in there.
Yeah.
Before when I first moved here, of course, it was always the warehouse. It was it wasn't run by Sousa at the time. But upstairs they had like a vintage, like it wasn't even called vintage then because everything was vintage. It was just like a thrift store type thing. It was like 12 tables in the room with fucking mountains of fucking shirts, and you would just dig through and you'd find some crazy fucking old shit, and just like how much? 75 cents. Bet, it's just like then that was like, so when you're staring at the fucking warehouse looking at it, the garage door.
Mm-hmm.
It was that wasn't there before, and it was upstairs because we used to always have to load in on the side.
Oh, okay.
By the drum throne, we'd always load in that door.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's not a wide area to load in and out of.
No.
But we took that place for granted now, man. But I saw footage from the show y'all did. Was it last month at P-Patch?
Earlier this month, May 3rd.
It was this month.
Yeah.
That was pretty fucking packed.
Yeah, I think 130 people.
Yeah.
At least that's what come through the door. You got bands there too.
Oh yeah. What door? $10?
Yep.
Nice. I know there was a show there Saturday night. There was a show there.
Yeah.
But it was also competing with Torteville.
Yeah. That's
Torteville was. I saw photos from every stop, and like I talked to Mark and Neo Vatra and Fuzz Ripper. That show, probably about 90 people out there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, fuck, man.
Yeah. It's good to see that stuff because like back in, I'm not gonna say back in the day because I'm not from here, and like I said, Guerrilla Warfare is the first band, but there was only like us, you guys, and of Serpents maybe.
Yeah. I when I was talking to Blake the other night, I thought Of Serpents had been around for so much longer, and they weren't. They maybe 2017, maybe 2017, maybe-ish, 2018-ish. They weren't really, they were somewhat newer.
Yeah.
But,
I know we played shows with them when I was in Guerrilla Warfare.
The first show I ever played with them was at the Cobra, and I told Blake this on the podcast. I thought they were fucking assholes. Because Travis was fucking just being a fucking dick, you know what I'm saying? And Poff is fucking, an egotistical bastard, you know what I'm saying? But it's my buddy, and I fucking, take what you get, I guess.
Yeah.
But I was like, man, fuck these guys. They're all fucking talking shit. And then I was like, then a couple of weeks later, we played with them at the warehouse, and Travis apologized. I was like, all right, cool, we cool.
Yeah, you never know. Like
everyone has bad days,
yeah.
you know. That was my first impression of them. Like, fuck these guys. You know? And Hunter wasn't even in the band on drums yet.
Oh yeah.
You know. And,
yeah, I've heard a couple of times. It's like, man, your other guitar player's an ass. Talking about Joe at the time, I was like, he's not an ass. You just got to get to know him.
He is until you get to know him. Like, people think I'm an asshole, but if you know me, I'm not a fucking asshole. That's just me.
Yeah.
You know. But,
let me be that person to be like, yeah, Russ is an ass. Brett's like, no, you just got to get to know him. And I think it was like one of the first times we met.
A lot of times I just don't talk to people when I first meet them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's something I'm trying to fix. Because that's been an issue my whole life. It's like, if I meet you, I'm like, I don't need to fucking talk to you. Who the fuck are you? Type thing.
Yeah.
But, you know.
See, I'm the total opposite. Like, I'm a social butterfly, as my wife says. And I get that from my mom. So,
that's Eric Daly. Eric Daly's a fucking social butterfly, too.
I love that dude, too. He's
We went to fucking see Descendants and Circle Jerks, and this motherfucker's talking to every fucking body.
It's like, you know them? No.
No, I'm just a social butterfly. Like, I can fucking see this shit. We went and saw Mr. Bungle a couple weeks back, and the same thing with Mr. Bungle. He's fucking talking to every fucking buddy. I'm like, why can't I do that shit? I probably have a lot more fucking people around. But,
well, but people like him and me usually get fucked over. So it's kind of like, if you find the middle of the road between, both scenarios, I guess is where you should be. But like, we talk to everybody, give everybody the chance, and then it's like, you just put yourself out there and run the risk of getting screwed.
Well, fuck, the other day when I went to go see Neil Vatra, Fuzz Ripper, Dead Ruins at the Rebel House, and I know every fucking buddy there. I didn't talk to I didn't talk to anybody. I just sat there, stayed to myself. Yeah, it's a different world these days when I see things in a clearer vision. I just don't fucking talk to nobody now.
Yeah, so Caitlin, I don't want to. He's similar that way. He's like, people talk to him, he'll talk.
Yeah.
But if it's just like,
yeah.
And then if somebody talks to him and like in his eyes proves himself stupid, he'll say something and just walk away. I'm like, he goes, well, there's no getting to this person or getting through to this person what I'm trying to talk about. So he's like, it just goes on. I'm like, yeah. Yeah.
I've talked to him a few times. I do know this, but he got some stories to tell. I like his stories, or just fuck his one-liners too. He's just
Caitlin.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's got something. It's just like, being in a van with him, come up with some random shit that's a fact, but be like, where did that come from? We were talking about something else, and he'll just come up with some shit, and I'm like, man, okay. Well, I do listen to him when it comes to food though, because he's.
I don't think he knows about food.
You don't think so?
No. One thing I will say about him, man, his fucking stage presence is fucking amazing. I mean, he can control a fucking crowd.
Yeah, and this is his first band, so first and only band, I guess. Well, so far until he quits.
He could do every fucking style of he can just do it all, and that's cool because it adds to your band. You guys have so many different elements in there going on. He'll be fucking busting a flow, or he'll be doing this or that. It's like, wow. And like I said, he can control a crowd. He's a good hype man, that's for sure. You know what I'm saying? If he ever quit doing music, like in a metal band, he can be a fucking hype man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He could be. I could see him being a good wrestling manager.
All right.
Talking mad shit to people. You know what I'm saying? I can see him doing.
He's good at that. He's been banned from Facebook quite a bit, so it's just Facebook.
So talking about him, whose idea was it to do the cover?
I think it's a mutual thing between me and him, because that was my era of hip hop and stuff. So
I mean, that's good shit.
Yeah. Like the Chronic from Dr. Dre, and then
I think that's every white person's introduction to hip hop.
Yeah.
Not really, but every fucking buddy went. Because I remember the day that fucking album came out. It's like everybody was fucking bumping. You see Granny walking her dog down the street, she's fucking listening to it.
Yeah.
But that album, fucking everybody listened to the Chronic.
Yeah, so like it was a mutual thing, and everybody in the band knew the song, so we're just like, want to give it a whirl, and then we did it. The thing about covering songs like that, you just got to try to make them your own, because it's very repetitive. Once you sit down and start listening to it, like, and trying to be like, what could I do here to change it? And, so we just all agreed that that would be a good one. I mean, there's so much shit I want to do, but.
Oh, there's so many cool covers that are out there. That I'll hear a song like. See, my thing is, I'll hear a song and I can picture which one of my friends' band should cover it. You know, how long did it take y'all to work it out to make it where you wanted it?
Not too long.
Really?
Like, I think we more or less did it all. We never practiced it. We just went in the studio and did it.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So it's like we listened to the song. All right. I mean, we kind of had an idea when we went in there,
yeah.
but we never practiced it together. I mean, you can come over now and it shows because we don't know how to fucking play it. So, but we're working on it.
Do you guys play it live?
No. Damn it, Jesse asked us to play at the Pea Patch, and I was like, we haven't.
Yeah.
We haven't played through it, you know, as a whole, and we could get it, you know, but it's just, and we're going to start working on it. But you know, it was just like, let's get it and see what people think, and a lot of people seem to like it. So I was like, well, you know, because there was, I was even joking about one time I put on Facebook about playing banjo beatdown. I was like, let's start that genre, and then I thought about it the next day. I was like, actually, I want to do 80s deathcore. What is that? Cyndi Lauper with breakdowns.
Yeah,
I've been wanting to cover Girls Just Want to Have Fun forever, and
that'd be cool.
it just hasn't happened.
That song there, man, could be so hard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, or Barracuda. God,
that's already got the fucking dopest fucking riff.
Yeah.
Dude. Dung da dung da dung da dung da dung. You know what I'm saying? It's like shit.
yeah. So we'll see how that happens. We may have to collaborate with some other people and just be like, hey, you want to do a mashup of different bands and cover the song? You know, we could.
That's something that'd be cool. That you know, I've always wanted to do, like just to get members of all these different bands together, just to kind of like Roadrunner United. That's kind of obviously when I fucking thought of the idea. I was like, oh, that would be great if we did on a local, level, you know, because that fucking Roadrunner United, man. Some of the collaborations on there, you're like, holy fuck, you know, this is dope, you know. So you did release the cover. You write new music. You guys, what's up for the summer? Because I know you guys stay busy.
Yeah. In July, we got 2 back-to-back shows. It's July 12th. We're playing in Knoxville, and then the next night in Indiana. So,
what's going on in those shows? Anybody just local shows?
Yeah. What the fuck's that band? Abated Massive Flesh. I'm playing with them.
They're from Murfreesboro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I always forget the singer's name.
The brothers.
He did the GW logo, with the skulls and all that. He did that logo.
Yeah, I forget his name.
Yeah, but he does some dope fucking work. I like his work. Who does most of you guys' artwork now?
We've had different people. We've had Art Echo. They did our Halloween logo. That Halloween shirt that we had.
Yeah.
They did that one. This guy from Facebook, I just hit him up, and he had some album art, and you know, tweak it if we need to.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Shirts designs, we just, you know, if we can find different people, you know, just to help them out. We've had the guy that does Phil's work. He did our Clam Buster shirt, and then the old bass player from Filth did our See You in Shell, the Shredder shirt.
Yeah, that was
he
pretty
did
dope.
that one.
That was dope.
The NWO one we did. It was
I didn't see that one.
Yeah, it's just ALB and then NWO
That's pretty
one.
dope. That's pretty dope.
Yeah. So me and my wife just made that one. What other one we got?
Did it sell well?
Not as well as I hoped it to, but that fuck around and find that one. That one's going all the time. I'm trying to remember who did that.
That's the one you got to like just stop printing for a while, and then bring it back out later.
This place in Alabama refused to print it. I'm like, why? Because she's like, well, at first we didn't see the rope. I'm like, that's the whole point of the fucking shirt. So, what's crazy is they didn't print that, so we went with a guy up in Michigan. My merch guy, he printed them. And then last year, I went back. I just sent the art up on the page. I didn't even message the people down in Alabama. I just sent the art, and they printed them.
Oh, shit.
Like, all right. So, yeah, and then, like the Clam Buster one, we got that one. I'm trying to think of what other shirts we got. The same guy did the long sleeve, our high vis yellow one.
Yeah.
He just made a logo for me that's kind of like the Ghostbusters, but
fuck yeah.
got the clam with the thing through it.
Nice,
so,
nice.
Then the band name down the sleeves.
Who made the logo for the ALB logo?
Some lady over in Indonesia. It was like
Dude, they stay busy.
Yeah,
They
make some badass shit.
Dude, all of them out there.
This guy was like, keep on sending me art. He's like, you think this will be good on the shirt? I'm like, not for my band, but for like a death metal band, because it's like similar art to this. So like, I mean, I dig it, but like,
that's why, like, you know, Nerovatra, they get some of their stuff done over there to Indonesian people, you know what I'm saying? It's like was there like a fucking whole town full of these fucking people that just do these designs? Because there's some fucking dope designs out there, you know?
Yeah, and they're not expensive. Like,
oh, no. They're cheaper than the ones here in the States, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You know?
That's, I don't know. You know, Maddie's done some stuff for us over at Velvet Ghost. You know, it's really just who we can find that kind of meshes with that design we want at the moment. And it's like, there's this guy, Jordan Het2, I think's his name, down in Florida. He did the Donkey Kong shirt.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's cool. I mean, you're always supporting other people, and that's you know, you just think you got one person that does all your design work. You guys got anything cool in the works now?
Shirt designs, we got some that we haven't released, and it's just like finding somebody that can print DTG is to get the quality, because it's like 9 colors, and I'm like, man, where do people go to get these printed? If we could find out that place, then we would have like 4 more designs we could throw out there.
It costs so much more for that many damn colors, because you got the screens, then you got the fucking this.
Yeah, it's man, you got to shop, and then like I said, you know, at this lineup, 3 out of the 5 members are dads, so it's like it's hard to.
Does that make it hard for playing shows?
Shows not so much. Tours, yes.
Tours.
Yeah, we've gotten 3 tour offers. It's just like we couldn't do, because I'm a logical thinker. If it doesn't make sense, you know, the pay might be there, but like we're going to end, like one of the tours we got was stopped out west.
Oh, then you're gonna have to.
That's a 24 hour plus drive all the way back, and no shows. I'm like, that just doesn't make sense.
When you guys played out in was it San Diego or?
Yep, San Diego.
Did you guys have any shows on the way out there, or did you guys just drive straight out there from here?
No, we flew out there.
Oh, you flew out there.
Yeah, because we did the Battle of the Bands up in Ohio. Won the first round, went back for the second round, and dude, that was some tough bands. Like, you know, some 80s.
So was
metal.
it just wasn't just like, it was all kinds of metal then?
Yeah, it was like 80s, and like I want to say 80s but the guy had the voice of the 80s. You know, and then there was a hardcore band, and then, you know, just different versions of metal, and then so we won the second round, and he's like, you guys are going to the third round in San Diego, the final round. I was like, cool. He's like, in 2 weeks. What the fuck? We got to get to San Diego in 2 weeks. So John, our drummer at the time, got all the plane and stuff like that figured out, and we had to figure out what we could take on the plane, what we could afford to take on the plane, and still play our show. And I'm not going to make excuses, but we guitar and then a little bit of stuff is what we was able to take, and it wasn't you guys up there. Yeah. It didn't feel right, and you know, all bands should be adaptable, so I can't really use that as an excuse. So we're just trying to figure out how we could do it. With better planning, you know, maybe a month we could have been better suited, but you know, it was fun. We met some cool bands out there, and you know, a lot of people just come and bought merch. And
So with more time, more planning, it will probably be more feasible and more you know, get your own gear out there. Because you're not yourself if you don't have your fucking gear. You know what I'm saying? And that's not, like you said, not an excuse, but you know.
But I mean, people come up to us after when they're like, "You guys should have won." And if it wasn't us, it was another band that we really liked, and it's the band name's escaping me. But I was like, they're gonna fucking win. Yeah. But this is before we even played. I kind of counted ourselves out, but I was like, they're really good. The guy that was the vocalist, he was had the crowd like controlled and everything. I was like, this is gonna be tough. But like, several people bought stuff, and then this one lady pulled me aside. This is probably like the silver lining of spending $3,000 to go out to a place where we just lost. But she was there, and she's like, "Have you ever heard of Full Terror Assault?" I was like, Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
when we live like 2 hours from where it's at or something like that. She's like, "Would you guys want to play that?" I'm like, "Yeah." So she's like, "Here's my phone number." She took mine. She goes, "I'll be in touch." And then like 2 weeks went by. I'm like, she forgot about us. And then she messaged me. She goes, "Talking with the guy and see if I can get you guys." And she's like, "It's not going to be a great spot, but it'll be a spot." And I'm like, everybody was just like stoked to be playing it. So, so yeah, stuff went on, and then we got there, and she's like, "Friday, 1:00. You're the first band."
Oh, you're opening it up.
Yeah, yeah. On the was it loser stage, I believe it was called. So I'm like, that's fine. And I looked at the different stages. I was like, I'd rather be on that stage anyways, because it was like people can be right up on you, like not up on you, but like right up against the stage. So that was good. And then so we get there, unload, set up, sound check, whatever, and turn around, hit our intro, and do our thing. Like there's like 30 people, and then turn around after we started playing, like the intro's playing, 150 people. I was like,
okay,
all right.
That's one thing though about like fest though, because people are gonna come in, they're gonna fucking watch everybody.
Yeah.
I remember talking about when the gates opened up, one of the Ozfests here in Nashville. There was a God forbid. It was the year that all these hardcore bands were playing, like Throwdown and Hatebreed, and like Bleeding Through, and God forbid opened up. They opened up at 10:30 when the gates were opening. I'm like, fuck, dude, that must have sucked. But if you're gonna be on that tour, somebody has to open the fucking tour, and they just got stuck doing it,
Yeah, I was listening to somebody on either a podcast or a YouTube, and they said that the Ozfest kind of was like a switching. Like you had 5 bands, they would alternate slots. Every show would be different slots. But
that's kind of like Warped Tour, because Warped Tour you didn't know where you're going to be. So say like Sum 41 was like at their prime, at their peak, at their time. They might not headline every show. They might play in the middle one day. They're not going to be a headliner. So you as a band, so everybody has to get to Warped Tour before open, and then find out when the fuck they're going to play. You know? But I mean, that's kind of cool though, because I mean, you're just showing that you're going to play wherever.
So as a fan, you better get your ass there.
Yep.
You never know when your band's going to play.
And you got to look up, and you got to like, all right, they're going to play at this time. Fuck, they're playing that, and you got to run and shit.
Dude, they had this whole schedule printed out at Full Terror, and then us wrote in Sharpie. At 1:00, I was like, hey, whatever, it is what it is. And then like, man, the guys were getting the stuff together. I was like, well, shit, we don't have a merch person with us at that show. So I was just like, I'm going to run to the merch. And there was like 20 people standing there. I was like, all right.
It was worth it.
Yeah. So, I mean, that was cool.
Who headlined that show that day? Is it 3 days or 4 days?
I want to say it's 4 days.
Yeah.
It's Thursday through Sunday.
Yeah.
I can't remember if it was Max and his band, not Sepultura, but
Cavalier Conspiracy.
Yeah, maybe.
That's some good shit. Or another one of his side projects. He has so many fucking bands, and they're all great.
Yeah, I can't remember if they was there Friday or if they were going to do Saturday. What's crazy is we got there Friday, and she's like, a band just dropped tomorrow. Do you want it? And I'm like, fuck, we're already here. She's like, it'd be like 4:00 on the next day. And, with all of us being dads at the point, it's like once we made that plan, that was the time we were going to be going.
Oh.
I was like, man, it'd been cool to play Saturday, because the people that couldn't make there because of work through Friday, they could have been there on Saturday
At 4:00.
Yeah,
that's nice. That's a good slot.
Yeah.
Oh well, you got to play it though.
Yeah.
You guys got any like fests and stuff coming up now or anything?
I got Michigan Metal Fest coming up. And actually that show in Indiana is a smaller festival, so looking forward to both of those. Michigan Metal Fest has got Mushroom Head on it.
Nice.
Head PE.
Oh, okay.
Traders. Gideon.
Didn't the singer from that band just do a metal song with some country dudes?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Those dudes are actually in metalcore bands back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's crazy is when we played Atlanta, Gideon was playing Atlanta.
With you guys or no?
No.
Oh,
it was them and Left to Suffer, and I was like, oh shit, this is Left to Suffer's hometown. Gideon's,
Are they from Alabama? Are they from...
I'm not sure where they're from, but so I was like, man, it's gonna be rough. But the turnout there was really good. Dead Friends is one of the bands that played, and really stand up dudes. So,
Yeah, hell yeah.
when we do those shows, I try to buy every band that we play with shirt if I have the money, so.
Yeah, I remember back in the day, everybody wanted to trade out shirts and shit, and I'd be like, cool, because I ain't got the cash flow to buy a shirt.
Yeah. So, yeah, I got their shirt, and if anybody's got a 2XL, I'll try to get that. Some people don't have 2XLs, so I was like, well, let me get a sticker, and I'll slap it on my rack that I use for every show. That way, I got them on there for...
Yeah, I noticed you for a while you were posting pictures up of like, of those bands, and then like putting little stuff about them. I can't remember where I saw you do that at.
Probably TikTok.
Yeah,
that's when I did. It was like on our tour bus. I mean, there's
that thing's pretty cool. Who put that together? You?
We went and got it, and it was kind of set up because the guy was taking it to a track. So, but he didn't have all the bunks and the TV and all that stuff there. So, me, John, and Kane more or less ripped out most of the shit inside and just redone it. So we had, I think there's 6 bunks total. There's a bench seat on the left, which is where I sleep at, and then there's a bottom bunk where Kane's at. Kaylin's on top. Marcus is in the middle or on the bottom. I mean, there's 3 spots back there, so they get the pick.
That's pretty
Before
cool.
He didn't get the pick. He was at top with the AC, and he had that much room to sleep. So, if you're the last person to join the band, you get
the shit seat. Yeah,
you're not getting the good spot. So, but yeah, we put a PlayStation in there and a TV in there. Kalen brought his Xbox because he's an Xbox dude.
You guys got Wi-Fi on there?
I use my hotspot. Yeah. And then the abundance of stickers we either get from bands or
just flash them over there.
Yeah. There's some one on there that says I love crack whores. I love hot dads, and it's just whatever. Some people just want to.
Didn't you guys buy a trailer? The ALB have a trailer from somebody first? Like, was somebody had a trailer, and did you guys buy a trailer used from somebody?
Joe had a trailer.
Yeah,
and then I bought it off of him.
Okay, and then you guys painted it black or whatever, or was it already black?
I think we painted that one.
I remember you guys had it, and I just remember it because we played Wicked Goods. It was taken under ALB, and I can't remember who the other band was.
Gravity Cosmonaut.
Yes, and I was me and fucking Dom talked about that show because he was like the only time we played it, and that's Gravity Cosmonaut, which became Ritual Caster, which I found that out. But no, I just remember because I remember that you guys, Jason was using it to set up his drums in there. But
yeah, that was the old. So when we played with Fear Factory back when I was in Guerrilla Warfare, he's like, Odino come out there. He goes, "Is that a horse trailer y'all got?" I'm like, no, it's just an old trailer. It's from from '88. I remember that because
that's funny.
It was actually my wife's birthday. It was spray painted on the thing. I was like, okay, this is an old ass trailer, but it held up for a while, and then we got another one. So right now we're just trying to get another one because renting one just doesn't make sense. Because after you rent one like 10 times, you've kind of bought one.
Yeah, and like you said, you guys obviously, does your band fund go for the band, or do you guys just take care of each other? And
yeah, when it comes to stuff like that, we try to use the band fund for it. So when we play shows, and this is just something we all agree to, that we're not taking anything from it. We will buy food or whatever needs to be done, but like individually, we don't take whatever from it. We just put it in the fund, and it pays for the gas or whatever. Yeah. So maybe one day, if we ever get to that level where we can split money and still pay for stuff, that'll be the way to go. But as of right now, that's just what we're doing because we can't come up with the money off the spot, and if we don't have sponsors, and
for sure,
there we go. We need the money, and we've got it. So
what's the big picture for ALB? Like, what are you wanting? Are you liking the level that you guys are on now? Because you guys got some plays. I see. You know what I'm saying? You guys got a lot of monthly listeners on Spotify and a lot of plays on Apple and stuff. Are you guys comfortable with this level here, or do you guys want to try to like still get signed and get bigger and maybe play Europe?
Oh yeah, we'd love that. The getting signed thing. I'm not sure if that's something we.
It's really
because it's not what it used to be.
No, and I always ask people that question, but I always get the same answer. It's not like it used to be, and most of it. Really, you can do everything yourself that somebody can do for you with the label. The only difference is maybe they can do a little bit more promotion, but nothing more that you couldn't do if you wanted, you know.
I think where the biggest thing would help us out is if there was a label that kind of did the financial thing, but it has to make sense, you know what I'm saying? Because we are dads. So.
Oh, yeah, you mean like, you know, we can play this show, but we have to have
yeah,
this.
Or if, you know, somebody would front the money for the recording. And, you know, we would pay them back and, you know, whatever, how that has to be, you know. You know, shit's hard. So
it is hard. I understand, man. I mean, like you said, you know, you guys offered some tours and you can't do it because you guys are family, man. You're you know, and family's first. Yeah, always family first, you know. And
we did a 30-day tour with Filth, and man, that piss poor management of the tour was really about what made us all quit. We're like, man, this shit sucks. It was fun being out there with Filth and My Own Will and Fight From Within and, you know, those guys. So that was cool. But like the financial side of it, out of the
30 days,
we got 5 guarantees.
Really?
Yeah.
Who was the tour manager?
Joseph Borland, which is so many people want to swing on him because you remember the Irate Festival up in Louisville?
Yeah,
he's the one that did all that.
Yes, because that was a big that made all websites. That fest, because
It made it and then made it for another reason.
Because Madball was supposed to play too, right?
Oh yeah. He had
that lineup was stacked.
He had Bury Your Dead on that. And I was like, oh yeah. There was so many I was looking forward, and it would have been
basically everybody pretty irate from that fest, huh?
Yeah. Because we was halfway through tour, and because it was halfway, you know, maybe the latter part of the tour, that's when that was supposed to happen, and we were just looking forward just to hanging out, even, you know, because I think we actually requested to have that day that we weren't playing off just so we can hang out and see the other band. So we were really stoked about that, and it would have been like, I won't say like an opportunity for us, but just to hang out with those bands. It's just, you know, just it would have been cool.
Was that 2020, 22, 21?
20. Shit, can't even remember now. I want to say it's 21.
Yeah, right, yeah. But yeah, like I said, man, you guys, like I said, stay busy. I always, you know, I keep my eye out there. I see what's up. You know, I follow along, and you guys are, you know, probably you know in this area, probably the most active band. You know, out of the people I know. You know, I know there's just a lot of the bands I don't see touring. I know it's hard to do, but I just don't see a lot of people doing it as much anymore. I know it's hard to do, like I said, because, you know, family and whatnot.
Yeah, but going back to your original question about if we're satisfied, yes and no, because being the guys from where we're from, Kane's from Clarksville, Cole used to be the drummer for Can't Relate, is our drummer now.
The furry drum set?
Yeah, no longer has the furry drum set.
Okay,
got that shit.
Yeah, he's a beast, man.
Yeah. His first show with us was Metal Devastation Festival. I'm like, good luck, buddy. And me and Marcus are from East Tennessee, and then Kaylin's from Texas. And
wait, Kaylin's from Texas? Didn't know that.
I thought San Antonio, I believe.
I thought he was from here.
He'll tell me I'm wrong if he. But so we're all from smaller towns, and to be where we're at now. You know, it is satisfying, but I always go back to the Hatebreed album, Satisfaction is the Death of the Desire. So
great fucking record.
So we're happy. I mean, you're always hungry for more. Like how far can you push it?
Do you still push do you still bust your ass and promote every day?
Yeah, I try to. I've actually relinquished my social media shit because I'm tired of doing this. Because every band has the band dad, and I feel like I'm the one for this one. So, you know, we try to do, but the social media shit's that's
a job.
Yeah,
you know,
it's a job in itself because it's like, man, did you post today? What did you post? Blah blah blah. And that's did you post about this? You know, there's so much stuff to figure out, but we're getting to where. We have the meta business thing, so you can sit there and plan.
I like that. Yeah, I had it on. I had it downloaded, but I took it off my phone. But now I just for like the You Want It, You Got It Instagram page. I'll schedule 4 or 5 posts. I'll schedule them so I don't have to worry about them. I just plan them, and then they drop when I need them to. You know what I'm saying? But they only do posts. They don't do like stories and shit like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's at least if I'm like, all right, I don't think I can be. I'm not gonna be able to post this day. I'm gonna the podcast drops every Saturday, so I already have it scheduled in my phone. Post on Saturday. No, like you said, it's a job. I also know too. You've and I'm sure you're still in that. You still think well, not think, but I'll just say that you guys are still no manager, right?
We do have a manager. We just signed with the EMG back in January.
Okay. Now I remember you didn't want one for a while now because you just wanted to do it yourself, right?
Yeah. We were just trying to see. That was the whole thing about the whole satisfied where we're at. Yes and no. Can there be somebody to help us push farther?
Yeah. Now, do they take, like, if they get you shows, do they take a percentage, or do you guys have to pay for it?
Oh yeah. Well, okay. So we there's two different things.
And you don't have to go too much into it.
Oh, I don't bother. Cool. We have a manager, and then we have a booking agent. Yeah, okay. Yeah. So the booking agent,
got you.
10% every show. So
it's not too bad.
No. And she's great. Michelle's awesome. She's been very helpful. She was definitely better than the last two people we've had that didn't get contracts. She's like, you'll get paid or they'll get sued. So I'm like, that's awesome. Yeah. And she's very very helpful and always communicating with me, like, do you want this? Do you want this? I wouldn't take this if I were you, and so on and so forth. So she's very, very helpful, and like I said, she gets 10%. There's no monthly.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, so if you guys don't play shows for 6 months, and then
yeah, but yeah.
Now these are only shows that now she's the booker. You said.
Yep.
Now these are only shows that she books, right? Now if you guys want to play a show, like say hey man, I got a show, I'm booking in June, I want you guys to play. Do I have to go through her, or
So everything has to go through her.
Okay.
And at first I was kind of like, man, that's kind of weird. But then after seeing the 30-day tour,
correct,
I was like, it makes sense.
Yeah.
She's just making sure we don't get screwed. So for local shows, it's nothing big. I'm actually trying to put on one myself, and she said it's fine. So one tour we went on with Open Killer, it was only like a 4-day tour, but she booked us through the guy that booked the tour. 2 shows fell off. 2 out of the 4 shows, I'm like, man, are we even going to do this? And then a bunch of friends just blasted it everywhere. Hey, we need shows in these cities or around these cities, and they got those. So
that's cool.
She didn't take the cut from that because
she didn't book them.
Yeah, we booked them. So, I'm trying to work on like kind of like what Chapel does, with the Toys for Tots. I want to do that for here.
Yeah, a friend of mine, Zach, he's done the Toys for Tots here. It's back in the day we had a bar called Section 125. I think he still does it now. But we do the Toys for Tots thing, have bands play. $5 to get in or free for the toy, And
yeah.
it's cool because it's cool to do that, man. I've always wanted to give back, and that's the biggest way to give back. There's always kids out there that need something, man. And
yeah.
Toys for Tots are cool. Where would you want to do that at? Someplace bigger than
Jason.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind doing it at Wicked Good. Even if there was some way we can get permission to use that lot right across from Wicked Good, that would be cool.
Well, did you?
Or Valor Hall up in Hopkinsville would be cool. Did
you guys play the end of summer fest that Wicked Goods did? When it was probably, I'm going to say 2019, 2020, in that era. Maybe it's 2019. Anywho, they had one stage outside in the parking lot. Mm-hmm. So if you're looking at the front of Wicked Goods, like at the door, you're looking straight at it, to the left in that corner of the parking lot, they had a stage set up there with, and they had a stage inside. Mm-hmm. So that was kind of cool, and, yeah. But I don't know what he had to do. I'm sure noise ordinance and shit. I think the outside stage had to be done by a certain time.
Yeah, probably 9 or 10.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would like to talk to him about that. It was just an idea I thought about. I've thought about it before, and I'm like, man, would anybody be wanting to do it? And then doing shows and talking to people, we'd love to do it. So I'm like, all right, so, Modern Primate, Mass Hatred, Guerrilla Warfare, whoever really, want to do it. I'll maybe keep it to 4 or 5 bands. I don't know.
Have you thought about I know a lot of cities do it, but have you thought about the Armory here at the end of 101st and Fort Count Boulevard? There's that Armory right there. The one
where the LAs have the gun show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if that place would do shows there. I know they used to have wrestling there.
Oh, yeah? Well, me and Marcus went over to Billy Dunlop.
Oh, man. That place was cool. That pavilion down there?
Yeah. Because they got a little stage there.
We used to do those back in like the late 90s.
Oh, shit. Really?
Yeah.
So
cool.
I was thinking there because like when you do one at a city park, McGregor or whatever ones we have around here, the lady said you can't charge, but you have to pay to rent it. So, I mean...
I think the only hardest part about that one, I think you have to get insurance.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But if we pull together vendors or sponsors,
take care of.
You can be like, set up your booth right here. We'll play up here. But you can't charge. No. So you can't be like, and then I wouldn't charge for a show anyways. It'd be like toy, like you were saying, a toy. Yeah.
And those people wouldn't know that you couldn't charge. All you can say is like, toy for admission.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, oh, you ain't got no toy. Here's my Cash App. Just give me,
Yeah. Put like a little donation jar out there or something. But
no, that'd be cool, man. And that's something, if you're gonna do that, obviously you gotta start thinking about that early because somebody might take that place or something.
Yeah.
Good. I always see these bands in bigger cities get together, do these huge Toys for Tot Fest, man, and I think that's a great thing to do. I always back that for sure.
We got enough bands here in this town to do it for Clarksville. I just got to figure out who to connect to with the whole, who do you donate the toys to and all that stuff. But like, Possum Stock, they have so many bands and,
Well, you can even do it there probably,
Yeah. Because I was thinking like October. I don't want to do it too close to Christmas. That way it would give me time to figure out where it goes. So definitely want to do something like that. But yeah, we're always about doing that stuff, just like when the tornado hit in December.
Yeah, I saw you. You were out there helping deliver food, right?
Yeah, we cooked food and delivered it too. So we had a lot of people that didn't even know us, probably don't even like metal, come out and volunteer to help us. But
that's cool though, man. That also showed you too during that time in December when the tornadoes hit here in Clarksville, that the community did come together.
Yeah,
and I know it's not 100%. But I'm sure it looks a lot better than it did, obviously.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Because, like, I live off Tinytown, which is the area that got wrecked. Well, one of the areas that got wrecked. My house didn't get messed up. Just one of our Halloween ornaments that's still got messed up. So I was like, we can't complain. And what it doesn't, I don't know how to say this because it doesn't suck, but it sucks. I was in Chattanooga playing a show when that happened.
Oh.
Yeah, and my wife and kids are in our band room. So I was like, fuck, I need to be home for them. But when we left, severe thunderstorms is the only thing we heard. So I was like, oh, shit, that happens all the time here.
Yeah.
The past 2 weeks, that's all it's been doing here.
All weekend, yeah.
So I was like, okay, well, we can still play this show, and then we'll be back at night. And then getting all these texts and messages about what was going on or seeing reports on the Clarksville chat. And it's like, man.
And then you're up there. You're like, fuck. I'm up here having a good time playing a fucking show while they're back home, fucking
freaking the fuck.
Yeah.
So I felt like shit, and I'm like, man. And people could kind of see it, in the band. They, what's wrong? It's like, well, back home, 2.5 hours from here, they're getting wrecked. So
I mean, that's your family,
Yeah.
That's your thing. So, you obviously the band, but you and your wife have a side hustle, right? You got a side business?
Yeah.
So is it a business?
Well, it's I don't know if she did LLC or like a sole proprietorship. Yeah, but she has a license.
Yeah, I've seen your stuff on. I've seen your coffin cases, your coffin bookshelves and shit. Pretty dope. I saw you made one for Blake.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. Do you guys get a lot of people coming to get them?
Yeah. Well, we know in mass majority it's going to be a one time a year thing around October. So but we got those people that are cool all year round that order some. So actually right now I'm working on 2 nightstands, keychain holder, and then Tyler from 2 Dot Crew, they ordered a coffin bookshelf.
Oh, cool.
So he already ordered one, but the shop themselves are ordering another one. So
that's Christy's place, right?
Yeah, CJ. Yeah. I made her a coffin shaped ink bottle holder.
I think I just saw that recently she posted on social.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm down to try anything when it comes to that stuff. So it's like somebody's like, "Can you make a bed?" I'm like, "Shut the fuck up." I was like, I would make a toddler bed, and I know that sounds morbid, but like, I wouldn't waste as much material trying it out on making like a little bed as I would, a queen size bed and stuff. But bookshelves, little 2 foot tall bookshelf that can be mounted on the wall. Yeah.
I see that. I do see there is definitely a market for that. I had gotten these little I don't even know what they're made out of, but they're little skulls, and they're like, one's painted, it's a skull painted like Alice Cooper, and one painted like Gene Simmons. And that's what they were doing for a while. They were taking these like little, ceramic, I guess, little skulls, and they were painting them up with different designs on them. Yeah. Then they started doing the bookshelf thing too, and they're out of Texas. They do that. They do saws, or they paint like it's all horror based, Yeah. So they do like saws with horror, or saw blades with the horror stuff on it. Yeah. But I noticed the coffin. I saw theirs with their coffin, but then the people off their page, they got other. It's just, there's a market for it. People like that shit. You know?
I just can't ship those things. It'll be too damn expensive.
Oh fuck yeah, they're way too much.
But there's a local artist, Terry Rippey. I think he might be down towards Nashville. He came to me for little coffin blanks, and he just paints horror characters on them.
Oh, nice.
And sells them. So
how many? Like what size are those? Like 12 inches.
Yeah, 10 to 12 inches tall.
And he it's like, and you get a blank, and you just like a blank skateboard back in the day, and you can put your own graphics on it. So
Oh yeah, we started doing that too. I don't know if you saw the ALB skateboards.
What?
Yeah.
Did you make them, or did you order them? Like the blanks.
We ordered the blanks. And then sand them, paint them, or slap a decal on them. However we wanted to do it.
That's pretty cool.
So
that's pretty cool.
Those sold because I'm like, man, I don't know shit about skateboards.
How much did you sell for?
$50.
That's a steal.
And I was like, I mean,
how much did you buy the blanks for? $20?
Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, but it's like everyone got to make a profit, but. Cause hell, fucking blank skateboards now, or not even blank, just skateboards nowadays are like $70 just for the deck. I'm like, fuck. Yeah, but I mean, $50 for you guys, that's a good deal.
Yeah,
good price.
Because we're like, we're not Acacia Strain or any big bang. So we're like, there's this high end and there's the very low end.
Shit, even if you make fucking $10-15 off each one, fuck, it's profit.
Yeah. Some people's asking if they're skatable. I'm like, sure, because they're maple.
Maple wood.
8-ply, maybe, or something like that. But and then they're 8 inches wide.
I'd be like, not tested, but go for it.
Yeah, you break it. There's no return.
I do know though. I do know there's some skate places that actually sell like blank skate decks that are actually like actual, skateboard quality, I guess you'd say. So
yeah, and then going back to the Jones Creepy Creation stuff, my wife does the resin stuff, and when we did that 30-day tour, she made resin coffin shaped rolling trays.
Nice,
and grinders.
She made a grinder.
Yeah, she can make grinders. Out of resin. It's only a 2-piece.
That's why you guys had ALB grinders.
Yeah, we've got those, and then we've got metal ones that we've got.
When did I see those? It's not been recent. Were you guys promoting them a lot during Christmas time?
I don't know. We've got two different kinds. We've got the resin ones and we've got metal ones that we've got laser engraved. But my
are
wife
they black?
There's black ones, and then we have a rainbow one. And then the ones my wife makes, just whatever color. Gotcha. We want like green swirls.
That's pretty fucking cool, man.
Yeah. So we try to think of different stuff right now.
Well, grinders and fucking rolling trays will fucking sell.
Right? Yeah.
What's on the rolling tray?
Just our the logo, that sigil that we have. Yeah, it's on the.
That's pretty cool.
And then the slam logo, or whatever you want to call it, it's on the grinder. So.
That's pretty cool. You should on the rolling trays. You should also put your apps on there, like your little like Instagram, Facebook on there. So they're like, oh shit.
Yeah, my wife has that sticker on the back of her van. Like, you go up with it with Spotify and scan it. It takes you to fuck around and find out. I'm like, I didn't even know you could do this. She goes,
yeah. I have a sticker that I'm making for You Want It, You Got It, and the way I made it at the very end, I have a QR code there, so you just scan the QR code at the end of it, and it takes you to my social links. Yeah,
that's something we're working on putting on our merch table too. That will take us like to Linktree, and it's got everything on there.
And I hear, don't use Linktree. Man, why not? That's it. That's the dopest thing that's ever been out there.
It's one spot, and you can see every. Yeah.
That's like me. I'm like, when I promote the show, I'm like, go listen to it here, and then you click on it, and it's like Spotify, Apple, fucking whatever you want to. I'm not gonna sit there and put 12 fucking different posts up of the different links. You know?
Yeah. Because like not everybody has Spotify and not everybody has this. And
well, that's why I ran into trouble. I wasn't doing YouTube right away, but then because I'm like I'm not putting video up.
Yeah.
But they're like people will still listen to it. I'm like fuck, and I put one up and I'm like holy shit, that had more plays in one day than its actual Spotify Apple fucking play. You know, but
yeah, because everybody can get access to YouTube, but like Spotify's like you got to pay for that.
Yeah, and not everybody has. A lot of people don't listen to streaming services either. Except for YouTube.
Yeah,
I do. I don't give a fuck. I see the pros and I see the cons.
Yeah, but yeah, with the merch stuff, we're trying to figure out just different stuff. Like we started doing shorts.
Those are cool. Yeah,
my wife made a butt plug.
Now, did you sell it?
No, I have not put that on the merch table because we play all ages shows. And I'm like, nope, because some kids are gonna think it's a ring pop.
You need to be like, ask for our adult merch. Like, what?
You guys got that? Yeah. So
fucking a butt plug. That's awesome. Well, Ghost had they had a fucking dildo.
Oh, really?
Ghost had a gold dildo that came in like a fucking bag, and it was like the upside down cross with the Pope head on it, and it was and they sold it. It was like $150, and it came with a bunch of other shit. But just the packaging itself was just so cool, you know what I'm saying? But they literally sold a fucking Pope fucking dildo. So I mean, crazy. If they're selling Pope dildos, you can say ALB fucking butt plugs, or ALB plugs.
Thing we're working on now. Not sure when this is going to come out, but got a sword.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it says "Mark my words" on it, and it's got the AOB logo, and it says "Fuck around and find out." And I made the frame myself, and was going to get the lyrics put on back of that. So, probably doing like a giveaway for that. Just like you buy merch, it puts your name into the thing.
Raffle, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys have a 3D printer at all?
I do. I don't know how to fucking use it though.
You can make so much fucking shit with those things. Yeah. I see people just making. I'm like, man, why the fuck didn't I think of that? What? Because these 3D printers. For instance, I saw a dude who made shelves for pop figures. Yeah. And he's selling the fuck out of them. I'm like, what the fuck, man? Like,
I bought the 3D printer. It's still in the fucking box, and the filament. And I'm like, it was like kind of like one of the biggest ones you can get. So I was like thinking large scale, and we still haven't got that thing out of.
You can make a bunch of butt plugs with that shit. Yeah. But you can make like little ALB keychains with the fucking thing. You know what I'm saying? Like you could do a fucking. My buddy, man, he was making fucking. I won't say what he was making but he was making. He did make some Misfits fucking Christmas ornaments of the skull. He just fucking cut a bunch of them out and made wooden fucking ones, and not that was from a burner, but he did make some plastic ones like and wrestling figures and shit. Like you can make anything you fucking want on these fucking printers.
I've seen a lot of people like put up files. I'm like, what?
I feel bad. I'm like, fuck it. They ain't the real thing, so you're not like I'm not taking money. It's just they don't look just like them. If you want them to look perfect, you got to go in there and sand them and make them all and paint them. I get it. But you can make. I've seen clear ones that are made and they're John Cena because you can't see them.
Oh yeah, they're very. It could be very useful. I just need to learn how to use it because I actually put it up for sale. I was like, man, I ain't using this, but I guess I just need to figure it out.
I thought about getting myself one, and I'm like, man, like you. I'm like, what? First off, like I gotta learn how to use. That's the hardest part. How much material you're gonna waste to learn how to use it? You know? And you can watch the videos and shit, but. So Perry, we talked about you growing up in East Tennessee. Playing music, and I like hearing stories about playing different fests and different places and stuff. What's one of the coolest shows as of either Guerrilla Warfare or ALB that was probably one of the most memorable shows that you've played?
Man,
I know it's a hard question.
That is a hard one.
Mine. I've already said it before. Mine was opened up for Terror in Cincinnati. It was Terror and Ringworm.
Oh,
in
nice.
Cincinnati. It was pretty cool. And Suffocate Faster, which you guys played with Suffocate Faster, haven't you? Did you guys play with them at... I can't remember. It was just recently. Did you guys play Cincinnati area recently?
We played that Q-Palooza not too long ago. That's
at Legends?
Legends, yes.
Yeah, Chris Alsep, his band, Suffocate Faster or Your Demise.
Okay.
If they play, they're same singer in those bands. Suffocate Faster. Actually, did you guys play in Nashville? You guys played Nashville. Did you guys play Nashville last month?
No, we haven't played Nashville in a while.
But yeah, anywho, yeah. Mine was like I said, Terror and Ringworm. That was my most memorable show.
Yeah, I mean, the Terror and Dying Fetus one was pretty cool.
Have you played with anybody that you never thought you'd play with?
Oh, them! I never thought I'd play the Dying Fetus, and I was like, I just got into them like a couple of years, like last year, a couple of years.
You're still learning about a lot of music, aren't you?
Yeah. I'm just going down that tunnel of different stuff because I listen to anything from country, 90s and earlier to metal, so hip hop, anything like that in between. So when somebody says, "Oh, you don't listen to anything," yes, I'll listen to anything. The other day we was listening to like 40s music. So so I'm like, I'll give anything a chance, and if I like it, I like it. If not, then it's whatever.
Yeah, I mean, my musical taste all over the fucking spectrum. You know what I'm saying? I like it all, but I still find new music every day, because there's someone's like, man, I can't find nothing new. Dude, there's so much music. It might not be new today, but you find something from the 60s, 70s, 80s, fucking, that's new to you. It's new music.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's so much stuff that there was a band, okay, a lot of times you see a name and you're like, you think the name that's what kind of style of music would fit, right? There's a band called Off With Their Heads, okay? Yeah. For the longest time, I always thought they were like a fucking death metal band. No, not at all. Sappy fucking post-hardcore emo. Like shit. It was good fucking shit. And then in the 80s, there was a band called Christian Death. Okay? And the logo looked like Christian Death. Like it would look like a fucking death metal band. No, like emo goth. Like The Cure or Depeche Mode kind of shit. Yeah. But the name was like, interesting.
So, Ghost is the one that got me. I was like, I saw them and I didn't hear them at that time. I just saw the picture. I was like, oh, Behemoth. And then you hear them, I was like, oh fuck, no, that's not Behemoth at all.
Do you like Ghost?
No, not really. I heard that one song, The Rats or whatever. It's called.
GW opened up for a Ghost tribute band at the Warehouse. And when I tell you, if you would have told me that was Ghost, I would have believed you. Oh yeah, because they had the fucking the masks. He had the fucking everything was like holy shit. Yeah. Not my cup of tea though. But the cover band was great. Not my cup of tea. Like as far as Ghost is, I get it. I understand why people like them. Don't get me wrong. They got some good covers. I like their covers. Yeah,
so that's how I approach bands. Something like, okay, this might not be for me, but I can see why somebody would like that.
And I used to not be like that.
Yeah,
I used to be like, yeah, fuck you, that band sucks. Oh yeah. But then if you think about it in the long run, people might say that about your band too, and you really don't want them to. I mean, you don't care at the end of the day. But I'd rather someone say, it's not my thing, but I understand why people, are into it.
Well, I've heard that. What is this shit? I'm like, well, we tried to mix deathcore and hip hop together. So, but going back to the question, I think, I kind of want to say with, it was cool. It was cool to open up for Fear Factory and when it was in Guerrilla Warfare, but like, I feel like the shows that we do ourselves and with other locals is better than opening for bigger bands because, like, those people are there to see that band. But when you do a local show, it's just like, you're the reason why these people came out. Like, one of you four, or maybe all four of you, are the reason why these people come out.
And that show that they're seeing could be their fucking Metallica. Could be their fucking Ghost, or could be their, you know what I'm saying? Because they might not go to shows. So these local bands coming to the show, that could be their big show that they get to go see,
Yeah. I would say, just because it's still fresh on the head, the P-Pat show that we just played.
Dude, that
130 people in that room, it's just like, and they were fucking going crazy.
The only thing I don't like about that room, those fucking lights.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's just random lights.
Oh my goodness! It's like it's like I like some lights, but man, they're just fucking.
Yeah, I think Johnny and Daryl are kind of working on that side of the place. So, we'll see what comes of that. But like, I want to say it was the Gatsby in Johnson City, which is close to where I'm from. I play with Guerrilla Warfare. That was a pretty cool show.
Hell yeah!
So
and did your family get to come out to that show?
Mm-hmm.
See, that's always cool too when your family get to see you play.
Yeah, I just lost my dad 2 months ago, so he came out to 3 shows of mine, 2 or 3 shows. I mean, he came out the last time I played in Johnson City with Filth, And my wife's got a video of him and mom sitting there and going to town on chewing gum. You could tell they were nervous and shit. And they were sitting there after we were playing and getting the stuff there. My dad was just sitting there. And my mom was like, do you want us to watch this other band? He's like, I don't know. He goes, are they like the Suns band? She's like, yeah. He goes, no. So they came outside and I got a picture with him. Then, Christmas, I got to play some Christmas songs with him on the guitar, so it was really cool.
Well, sorry for your loss, man, but I'm happy you got to see you play, brother.
Yeah, so I'm working on. I actually got one of his hats on. That's kind of a thing. Yeah, it may be weird to some people, but I'm gonna take him with me wherever I go because he's one of the reasons why I started playing. So. Yeah,
I saw pictures. Obviously, recently you posted some pictures up with him and stuff, and I didn't realize he played instrument too. I saw him with the. Yeah. Was he playing guitar in the picture? I can't remember.
He was playing a Yamaha acoustic guitar, and I have that guitar at the house. My mom let me take that with me, so I was
That's awesome, man.
That picture, I'm gonna put that picture of me and him up, and then that guitar. He had a Fender Mustang from '69. Oh. Yeah, I was like, I don't even want to play this one. And then he's got a Gretsch Diamond Series that I got, so I'm like.
So you got all his guitars?
Not all of them, because I wasn't like all my whole family just kind of like. We don't want anything. We just want our dad back. Yeah, but that's not possible. So it's like, and they were all like, "You're the only one that plays music in this family." So, whatever. And I was like, I don't. The Yamaha's the only one I really wanted because that was the last thing he played before he passed away. That's awesome. But the man had a sense of humor up until the last day. So luckily. Sorry to go on about this.
No, you're good, man. Respect, man.
Asheville, North Carolina. We played on a Sunday. It's an hour and a half from where my dad was in the hospital. And I asked the guys in the band, I was like, do you care if I go see my dad tomorrow? And they're like, of course not. We love your dad because they've all met him. Yeah. He's like, my dad's one of those guys, if I would have brought like a $5 hooker home, he'd be like, how you doing, ma'am? He's just nice to everybody. He's not really, judgmental or anything like that. So, okay, it was an hour and a half away. So I went and saw him the next day. And then he just kept his sense of humor up until the last day. I was like, my mom was PR, which is what she called him because Perry Roscoe's named after him. So she's like, did you take your medicine? And he said, yep. And he looked at me and shook his head no. I was like, Dad, you better be taking that medicine. Leaving there was rough. But I had the guys with me and buddy Jacob from Knoxville. He was shot all of our videos and pictures and stuff. He was there and, it's... you see who's there for you when that shit happens, and it's crazy because it's like 130 people. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's a small thing, but it's like 130 people either commented or reacted to a post about my dad. Some people I've never met. There's like sure. You and all the other guys that are local and that, we've known each other for a little bit. So just seeing that was just like,
Yeah, I mean,
it means a lot.
We're all family at the end of the day, we're all musical family. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And we're all. And even though all of us don't talk on a regular basis, we're all still bros. You know what I'm saying? We see each other at shows. We all fucking bullshit, catch up, whatever. But it is cool though, man. Because like first off, you never thought you'd probably be. I don't know, but I know I felt this way. I never thought I'd be in a band. Okay. Mm-hmm. But then it's to see your family, to see you play. That's me. That's awesome because that's one thing you never thought you get to do, and now your family's watching you play. Yeah. My parents only see me play a couple times, but it's cool to see that they came out. Even though they're not into that shit. Yeah. They like some music like that, but not like that.
Not that screaming, snot slinging stuff. That's what my mom describes it. I was like,
my mom went and saw my stepdad went and saw ZZ Top this past last month in Huntsville because they live in Huntsville, and that Blackstone Cherry, yeah. I think that is that them. They're like kind of Southern Rocky-ish. No, they're more alternative heavy.
Yeah. They're kind of like
were they on Roadrunner?
Stone Temple Pilots kind of stuff.
My mom was like, "Great, I don't want it." And then the next day she was like, "Man, they were really good." I guess because they fit the crowd. Because it was Leonard Skinner, ZZ Top, and then that band. You know, so I'm sure they fit the crowd. With the music. But she was like, "Man, they were really good. And they were tight." And I was like, "All right, cool."
Yeah. And one thing I can say is you never judge a band by their album, especially a local band, because you don't know what kind of funds they had.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and some people try to do it themselves and it doesn't end up sounding great, but like you see them live, that's it. They just try to go to as many local shows as you can because, man.
Oh man, and you might see this local band, they may be bad as fuck, and you might buy that CD, and you're like, it ain't the same shit. Mm-hmm. You can never reproduce what you're going to get live on a CD. I wish you could, and I don't even want a live CD. I just want to be able to fucking give you what you see up there on this fucking CD or fucking on the internet, you know, because. But I say CD. Do you guys still burn CDs? Or
yeah, we make CDs. Yeah, we still do that.
Do you guys do a mass quantity, or do you just like 100 at a time?
100 at a time.
Yeah, because I'd rather sell 100 than not sell 100.
Yeah.
And there's a place that Taken Under got our last CDs done. We got 100 CDs, printing on the thing. We got the cardboard sleeves, you know, with the shrink wrap. The only thing I didn't get done was when you stick it in a CD player, it didn't register the song track listing.
All the metadata.
But it was $150 for 100 and some change because they gave us like the runoff.
Yeah.
And that wasn't bad. $150 and you got 100 and like I think 6 CDs we got.
Yeah.
Selling for $10. Yeah, that's a profit. You know?
Yeah. We use a place out there in out west. I'll just say that way. Because, but I think I turned bread onto them. Not sure if they still use them or use them, but they're like 6-panel thing. $225 for 100 of them.
Yeah, that's not
and
bad.
That's a 6-panel. And then you can get an insert put into
it.
Is
it the plastic in there and then the 6 to fold out or no?
No, it's just all like the cardboard kind of feeling.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
So we did that, and then the last album we did, and then had the insert with it, had all the lyrics on it. So
that's cool.
Because when you start putting shit together, it's like you got to thank all these people, and that's what I try to do. Anybody that's bought anything. I try to put them in the thank yous, and it makes it a long list. But shit, I mean, if it wasn't
makes them feel like they're part of the band, you know.
Yeah, if it wasn't for people supporting us, either through sponsorship or coming to shows or buying merch or whatever online, we wouldn't be doing shit. You know?
Sure.
So
I know every band wants this, and I don't know if you guys have done it yet. Have you guys pressed vinyl at all?
No, I want to.
I might be lying when I keep saying this, but I remember looking at it one time, and I believe it's the vinyl itself is not where the cost is. It's the press is where the cost is because you gotta get this big press made, and then the vinyl's like, you know. Yeah. I think it's like a couple $1,000s for a press, but you know, the only thing I wanted was to get vinyl. Never got the vinyl, but I did get GW on a cassette, which that's cool to me.
Yeah.
Never got taken under.
Yeah. That was the last album.
Yeah. Did you get one of those?
The cassette?
Yeah.
I don't think I got a cassette.
I got one for you.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, I got a couple left over.
I've got the old ones. I actually in the band room right now have the Violent State drum head that I used.
Yeah, I remember you had that on there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had I have them downstairs. We went back and started using those scrims again. Well, they did. Well, we were using them when I was in the band. Then we stopped using them. But
yeah.
Well, Perry, this was pretty entertaining and interesting. I learned about you. It's weird what you can sit down and you learn about people when you do. You know, you don't. Because like I learned stuff about Blake in my podcast. I'm like, wow, I did not know this.
I've known you for so long, and
you know. But you know, that's what happens because you don't really talk about a lot of different things. You know, what I'm saying? It's bullshit like, oh, how y'all been doing? Cool. You know.
And then when you start talking, just shit just rolls.
Oh yeah, like, for sure.
It leads into another thing, and super stoked that you're doing this.
I appreciate it, man. I wanted it to get back in, even though I can't be in the. I'm not saying I'm not going to ever do it again. At this moment, music is not right now for me.
Yeah. But you're still in the scene doing this.
I'm still doing this. Yeah. Before I even was in Taken Under, I did a little webzine called The Pincushion. And I did that for a while, man. And then Slaughter got on board with it, you know, and we were doing interviews. We interviewed like Sworn Enemy and bands like, you know, we're going to shows and interviewing people and shit. One of the interviews was done in Mark's fucking truck. You know, he interviewed Sal from fucking Sworn Enemy in his truck of his car, you know. And it was pretty cool. But yeah, man. No, I enjoyed doing it. It took a while. I had the name forever. Obviously, the name you wanted, you got it. Is from a Taken Under song.
Yeah.
But it took
what's it? It's the first album though, right?
No, it's off the last one.
The Blue
Harbinger.
Okay.
It's Imperial Sanitas, which is our number one song on Spotify. Because it's just like, you want it, you got it, and it's just a good sing along part. But I'm like, you know what? That's just a cool name for a podcast. You want it, you got it. Because like, you want it, all right, well, you got it. You know?
Yeah.
But like I said, I'm enjoy doing it. It's not as it could be more work. It could be I could make it more work if I wanted to, but I'm just enjoying doing this. Like, I'm going to eventually. I'm going to put a camera up, which I'm going to work that out this weekend. I'm just going to put a fucking old cell phone right here and just videotape down, you know. But for now, just doing it like this, man. One-on-one. I like the one-on-one.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I will eventually do more. You know, like when I do Zoom ones, I can get a whole band on Zoom.
Yeah.
You know, but then of course everyone's talking. It's like you know, I like the intimacy, but I don't you know, and maybe we can do it. I want to do full bands eventually, but you know. Everybody, cause that way everyone can stay at home and just be on fucking Zoom, you know.
Yeah, you just gotta direct those questions sometimes.
Yeah.
You be like,
oh yeah. I'm like, oh no, I was talking to him. You know?
Because people sometimes talk over each other and stuff. Yeah. So,
but no, I got that's another thing too. You know, I don't want to. I find myself doing it sometimes, interrupting, but it's all a learning process too. It's you also got to learn too. Like if your interviewee is not talking, you got to carry that conversation.
Yeah,
that's the hardest part. But you know, I enjoy it. You know, I enjoyed this. It's pretty cool, man. Where can everybody find ALB at?
Spotify, YouTube.
What's your social?
It's just on the Instagram. It's just autumn.lies.buried. Facebook's autumn.lies.buried. But yeah, we got Spotify, iTunes, or whatever those gross people use that have iPhones.
Oh, fuck you.
But yeah, YouTube Music, Pornhub.
Yeah.
No, I'm just joking.
You know, actually, it's funny you said that. Was it Body Count that released some band released a video on Pornhub? Some metal band. It might have. I don't know, but it was because it was a fucking raunchy video. Like it was like some. Yeah, there's a band called Piece by Piece, and this porn star, I can't remember her name right now. She was all tatted up and shit. I can't remember her name, but they did a video with her like that, and their album cover is her naked as fuck.
Yeah.
And just but now it's like Pornhub. People do that. Hey, maybe that's your goal now. Get something on Pornhub.
Right. I was also thinking maybe you know, if we get this thing going with the whole Toys for Tots, maybe we can figure out some way we could set up, if you wanted to set up out there with this. And just be like, hey, come in here. Let's talk about 5 minutes. I don't know if we could do a full long one. But,
you can. I mean, just do little parts here, and then, you know, a couple of days, you know.
Yeah.
My goal one day is to try, you know, if for instance that, you know, try to do that live.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, because people do live podcasts.
Yeah.
You know, it's just all about learning and stuff. Right now, this is going to be episode 9. So 9, not too bad. Mark was 2-parter, you know, but yeah, 9, and then I have Blake. He could be 10, but I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
I just you know, like I said, and this is what sucks about Facebook is like the algorithm. So I just now saw this, even though you've been doing it. It's just like saw it the other. I was like, what the fuck?
A lot of people saw, you know, and I'm not gonna. I could bust my ass and promote, and pay for promotion, but I'd rather just do word of mouth.
You just want to make it fun.
Yeah, I'm not here to make. I mean, trust me. If I was good, if I was wanting to get better at it, I wouldn't mind a fucking sponsor. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because I mean, everyone's getting fucking Liquid Death sponsors on podcasts. You know what I'm saying? But no, man. But no, Perry, this has been fun, man. Your next show is when?
July 12th.
All right.
Knoxville, Tennessee. They get rowdy over there on that side. The first time we played in Johnson City, a dude broke his nose, so.
Hey, when blood is shed, that's a good fucking time.
It's the best one. Yeah. So, but yeah, like I said, you know, if anybody wants to keep up with the band, Autumn Lies Buried on Facebook. If I get something together for that Toys for Tots thing, sure. You know, I'd love to everybody come out, and even if you don't have a toy or whatever, and just want to donate, you know, whatever we figured out, it'll be on there, and going to get all the bands that I can think of, you know, for sure. And then I think it'd be a good thing, man. And it's cool to always help out your community, you know. In Clarksville, I mean, it's our home now, you know. We all live here, you know. But no, and then what's your woodworking one called? Jones Creepy Creations. Yeah, that's on Facebook and Instagram. I'm old, so I don't really do Instagram as much, which everybody's like, that's where it's at. That's all I use, yeah. So I'm on Facebook, and I'm just like, you know, my wife kind of controls more of that, you know, stuff. So it's cool. I've put on Marketplace too, just to try to get more business. So. I actually saw it on Marketplace the other day. I was looking for some furniture for in here, and
I was like, oh shit, that's Perry.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I've been working on a little, possibly in the future. I'm trying to work out the plans to do like a automized buried box. It's shaped like a coffin.
First
put
off,
a shirt, CD, and stuff in.
Do you? I know you made the Eagle boxes for GW. You got any Eagle boxes for ALB?
No.
Oh,
the rest of them are tall enough to not.
ALB had the Eagle boxes, and I remember you left them on stage, and Taken Under got to use them. I was like, man, these things are cool. But
so I did make some for guerrilla warfare out of metal.
I remember those
out of lights, and then Joe had some made out of wood. And Joe's asked me, he's like, "Why didn't you make any?" I'm like, "Fuck, I don't know. I just don't think about that." You know,
you don't need fucking Eagle boxes now.
No.
I've seen like following reverse. Like Ronnie has one the whole length of the fucking stage. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I get it. I get it, but I don't get it. It's like they could already see you. But I guess if you're up on those now and for the bigger shows, people that can't see you can see you.
Yeah.
Because you know me, I can't see shit when I'm at a show because I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah. You know? Hey, can I have your Eagle box out here?
Yeah, there you go. I might have to start wearing fucking platforms for shoes. But
yeah. Well, the rest of the guys are over 6 foot except for me, so it's like, I'll get one for myself.
Just wear platforms too.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, Perry, man. Till next time, brother. Take it easy.
Appreciate you.